Oh, that's true.
All right, gentlemen, y'all ready? All right, good morning to everybody. Today is Monday, November the 10th, 2025. About 9:02 a.m., Gonzales County Commissioners Court will now be in session. We will move to public comment. I have a few that have signed up to address the item, and I will call on them on number 16 when we get to that. However, under regular public comments, we have none. All right. So we'll move to the consent agenda. The following may be acted upon in one motion. A commissioner, the county judge, or a citizen may request an item to be pulled for separate discussion and/or action. Has everybody had an opportunity to go over the actual consent agenda?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I move to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, that passes. All right, we'll move into deliberate and consider action on the following items. Number 10, update from Jimmy Harness regarding drought conditions and burn ban status. Hello, Jimmy, you've grown hair again.
KVDI this morning, 6:55, and very little chance of rain in the next few days.
Just continue on with it. Hopefully looking at the long-term forecast, and maybe it's going to change a little bit, and we will be able to get a little bit of moisture. So we'll just roll on with it as we have it for now.
Correct.
Thank you, sir. Number 11, presentation by Keith Schauer regarding the 1835 Village.
We'll let Richard do the
Yeah, come on,
standing for Keith.
y'all come on up to the front. All y'all are welcome to come up here.
I'll have the presentation on the screen.
Okay.
Just start the engine. It's on the screen. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Pleasure to be here. My name is Richard Kuntz. I'm from Switzerland originally, so how the hell did I come to Gonzales? I have been a developer for 30 years, mostly overseas in Switzerland and in Florida and in Texas. We have a company, Avalon Park Group, which is active in Florida and Texas. 1835 Village, was a project that started 13 years ago. We have the 42 acres basically at the Thrive Health Complex, and we have a phase 1 at the top of the north side of the property that has been developed 12 years ago, 13 years ago. So looking back, just to give you an update on where we came from, where we are today. 1835 Village was basically acquired in 2 phases, 12.5 acres and about 42 acres in 2013 and 2015. In 2013, the city approved a developer agreement that It's basically the building code for the whole acreage. And they approved the 380 agreement, which is a reimbursement agreement for property taxes that are collected for the city. In 2013, we designed a master plan for 55 acres. And in 2014 and 15, we developed 12.5 acres into 40 residential lots and 2 commercial parcels. The residential lots are basically 8 townhomes, so attached units, and 32 single-family detached units. We've built 2014 to 2024 a total of basically 24 residential homes. That shows you the pace of new construction on our site in the 10 years. Today we have still half of the single-family detached lots are vacant, ready to be built, available to build. And 2025, 42 acres on the open land adjacent to Thrive. What were the expectations when we came in 12, 13 years ago? Of course, the Eagle Ford shale boom was in full thrust at the time. We figured that there would be a need for permanent housing besides temporary housing, workforce housing, motels, RV parks. We saw the growth, oil and gas, industrial, and graveyard. We are looking in counties at the county seat, not just in any county, but in the Eagle Ford Shale County with a county seat. We found that it was the largest property within the city limits that is contiguous and adjacent to the hospital, which is an advantage. We signed a contract with D.R. Horton at the time in 2013, and they didn't follow up on it. They moved away. We invested in a similar but larger project in Floresville, an hour's drive from here, southeast of San Antonio, golf course project. This is how it looks like. So in Floresville, Texas, in about the same time span that we have been in Gonzales, we built 420 new homes, home sites and homes. It was basically a master planned project that started 25 years ago and then bankrupt more or less twice before we came in. We flipped existing lots in these red sections, built with our own home building company another 80 lots, another 80 homes, and completed those 2 sections. And then we built the yellow sections with a total of 343 lots, size home sites, and sold them to D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton built all the houses. It's built out now. We are through half of the development. The total development is 900 homes. This is 55 acres, in an old survey, 42 on this side, 12.5 on this side. Here's the Thrive. This was part of the development agreement initially. That's how the master plan looked like, with a combination of commercial, multifamily, and single family. That was the plan. We had a company, McDonald Company, which is a large apartment builder in Texas, on the contract, and he decided to go to Floresville and not to Gonzales. So our financials look like that. For land purchases, development of public infrastructure, residential lots, home building, property taxes, we invested about $5.8 million. We had revenues from the sale of parcels and lots, home sales, property tax reimbursements, the aid agreement, of roughly $4 million. So the gap is, $1.8 million, which is basically the land and the undeveloped lots. We built an infrastructure with a sewer line 3,000 feet long on the backside and the east side of the property, tying to the existing wastewater system. Looking forward, So we redid the master plan and basically reacted to the market. And the market was basically asking for smaller homes at affordable prices in a denser volume. And we found here Horton, again, after 12 years of being absent, who was interested in building the homes on these lots. So this is basically the pink part is the existing phase one that we built already. The red part is the next one, and then the blue part is going to be 3 phases of subsequent to the red phase. The infrastructure costs for the public parts, which is basically everything that's in the right of way of access roads and internal roads to the houses, is estimated to be about 9.6 million. We already invested 1.6 into the infrastructure 10 years ago, so there's another basically 8 million to go that are going to be invested into the infrastructure. That's just the public infrastructure. So add to that, lot development costs specifically to make the lots buildable. This is the next section that we are planning and trying to get an approval for from the city. 60 plus home sites, it's about 62 or 63. Here is the one and only roundabout in Gonzales that we built together with the hospital 10 years ago. And it's the entrances of the wellness center, Thrive, and the hospital. So I think to bring affordable housing to Gonzales, there is a joint effort to be made by us, the developer, by the home builder, by the city and the county. And what are these elements? And so we are basically, ABG is our partner, that's our investment company. We're putting 2.5 million to develop the infrastructure for 63 lots. Here Horton, who is the America's biggest, largest home builder, is willing to invest 2.5 million to build the next 60 plus homes. Next phase. We have been talking and are talking to the city of Gonzales about 2 things. Extend the development agreement, which is going to expire in 2028, for 15 years to have our planning security and our, basically development building code in place. We have an existing 380 agreement with the city, which again want to extend for 15 years. And we have basically talked to the judge recently and approached the county for a new 381 agreement, which is this 380 agreement for the county. That basically is a reimbursement scheme of property taxes collected on properties newly developed on the property side. Our 380 agreement with the city right now, the existing one and the one we plan to propose for renewal for 15 years, 80% of the collected taxes on those properties are reimbursement to the developer, and 20% stays with the city. So just to tell you the numbers that we have for the 380 agreement over the last 12 years, 10 years. We collected 83,000, which is 80% of the city's collected taxes, property taxes, on every new construction on the site. But we spent 225,000 on property taxes payments to the county, to the school, to the city, to whoever collects taxes for the property. So we are basically, after 10 years of a 380 agreement with the city, we are basically minus 160,000. So basically our proposal and application to the county to be considered is to create a 380 agreement between us, the developer, and the county, parallel to the one we have with the city. So we'll have a 380 with the city and a 381 with the county. county. Duration is 15 years. 80% of the tax revenues collected for the county and for the city go to the developer, and will have to agree on a maximum amount that can not pass. That is basically that's capped. Everything goes to the city and to the county. I think that's it. Open for questions.
Has the city already agreed to give y'all their abatement? Has the city already agreed to give you their abatement to do this tax?
Yeah, I mean, they have done it already 10 years ago, 12 years ago. We are at the same stage as we are with you now.
What I'm talking about is a renewal, I'm sorry.
The renewal, yeah, I know. We have basically submitted the application.
But it hasn't been approved yet.
No, it hasn't been. And so we are going to do a presentation similar to the ones today, this Thursday at the City Council. If you don't mind, I would invite Daniel Tovar. He's the representative of D.R. Houghton, just to give his view of Gonzales and why he wants to come to Gonzales.
Yeah, sir, why don't you throw that switch behind you? Turn around that light
Turn that
switch.
switch off.
There you go.
No, I appreciate y'all judging the commissioners this morning, here from D.R. Horton in the San Marcos Division. I just wanted to come back and visit with y'all again on this Gonzales City here. We're pretty excited about coming back into the aspect of building some affordable homes here. I've been doing a lot of research in the past year and a half, going through the city, looking at what sales are, looking at what availabilities y'all have for new homes. What I've been noticing is there's a trend of just driving through the city, there's not any new homes, so what folks are doing now is purchasing older homes, remodeling and making them nicer and reselling. It's kind of indicative of a lack of housing, people are doing that because they don't really have any other options, and so, folks want to live in some nice houses. Looking at what the sales are and what we're trying to accomplish here is we're trying to accomplish affordable homes for folks that are making medium, $60,000 a year. 30, have a two-person household making $30,000 a year, and trying to get an affordable payment so these folks can get in some new homes and actually own a new house and have the ability to start a family. And I think there's a great opportunity here for the city and for ourselves, D.R. Horton, to come in and build some homes and provide something I believe the city's needing.
What's the average cost of a home?
Average cost right now, we're looking at somewhere between low twos, maybe sub twos. I don't have any firm pricing right now. We're working on some new development plans. And also we have to work with the city here and see what we end up with on lot sizing, but that's the target right now. So we're looking at probably trying to get somewhere, around about, $1,200, $1,400 a month payments, so we're trying to be really affordable for these folks here. Just based off of the information we have from the income and what the EDC has published on, the median incomes here. I think it's actually gone up to about 80,000, and we're trying to hit about 60,000 for median income affordability.
And to build a home, how long, once you start it, does it take you to complete it?
We just had some numbers come in last week, and we're probably about the fifth fastest home builder in the United States in D.R. Horton Division, so it's probably about anywhere from 60 days, something like that. Sub 60 days.
To build and complete the home?
Yes, sir. Yeah, once we start, it takes 60 days.
And how many are you looking to do per year over the next 10 years?
Yes, sir. So what we're really looking at, it's going to depend on market condition, how fast things are going. Right now, we're pacing a couple houses a month. So it's just going to depend on what the market dictates. How long we're going to take to get to these market turns back on. We sell faster, we build faster. So it just really depends on market conditions.
So the homes, are they slab, or what's the exterior?
Yes, sir. It's going to be slab. Exterior still yet to be finalized. We're still looking at what we can put into it. But it's most of the time it's going to be like a farmhouse style. We could add some masonry on there. It just depends on what we end up with on our plans.
What's the average lot size going to be?
We're still working with the city on that, but we're hoping to get about 35 foot wide lots, about 120 foot depth. So folks will have a backyard and stuff like that.
And is this entire acreage within the city limits?
Yes, sir.
So the existing phase one with the 10-year-old is 40 by 125 deep, so 5,000 square feet per lot. And now the market really came even further down and basically required. I mean, we're going down to almost to 30 wide lots, 20 wide homes, which is one garage. Because it's just the affordability, you know, is defined by how much it costs, and then how much the land costs and how much the house costs. So the whole market has really shrunk to kind of provide this affordability, you know, to just basically redo the floor plans, redo the lot sizes. That's just an answer to the market, you know. It's
And the average square foot of the home is?
About 1,000 to 2,000.
Like regular 3-2s kind of?
Yes, sir.
And the way, you know, D.R. Horton, I can say that thing.
Yeah.
You know, the way they work, they have a very tight, you know, connection to local agents and brokers. So they are really kind of, most of their business comes in from buyer agents that find a buyer, you know, to bring, you know, to Horton to close a deal. That's one thing. And the other thing is that Horton, the way they can build fast, so fast, like in 60 days, is that they, you know, do spec homes. So basically you have a variety, 5-7 homes at the same time that go up, that are, you know, across the basically portfolio they have. So you can choose between the sizes and prices. And that's kind of what makes it, you know, very efficient. And for us as a developer, it's the same. You know, we basically sell them in tranches. You know, we give them 20 lots at a time, and then they start building 5-7, you know, at the home starts at the same time.
And if we move forward and get some type of an agreement, it would be on the future construction. All the stuff in phase one that's already there is that you've got, that you've already built is already
Right. That's
underneath the old agreement, so
Right,
we're doing it
exactly.
moving forward.
exactly.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then basically, you know, it's basically the base price, it's everything above the base price. And the base price, you know, to kind of make it easy, calculate, you know, it's, you know, the market value of the 42 acres is roughly 400,000. So 40 acres, you know, just such simple numbers, is 1,000 an acre. You know, 5 houses are on it, you know, so you're talking, you know, basically, you know, 40,000, 5 houses, 8,000 base value, and everything above it, you know, is basically the increment that is the tax that is applied to, is reimbursable, you know, to the developer. So it's basically almost zero, you know, it's, the base is almost zero.
Any more questions? I guess what I would suggest in moving forward is if y'all have the opportunity, I think it would be a good idea to meet with each and every commissioner individually and just to kind of explain everything like y'all have did for me. I have touched base with a little bit on them, but and let them look at it, and then maybe we can get together and do another meeting and maybe go into an executive session to sort out, to look at everything, unless y'all have anything other than that.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank y'all.
Appreciate y'all's time.
You bet. All right, move to number 12. We have a presentation from John Duke with CPM regarding update on ongoing projects.
Okay, good morning. So I'll start off with the annex. We've been, but I appreciate you all continuing to come out as you can to the meetings, and we are working on, and we'll have you that update today. I've seen a draft of it already. So the annex is as probably most of y'all know, is off to a little bit of a slow start. We ran into some unforeseen conditions. We've since identified those and we've quantified them and are now moving past them. We have the answers that we needed. Structural steel is arriving on the 19th, so that'll be next week. And it probably will not go up and be installed until the following week, which is the week of Thanksgiving. But all that is to say that in December really is when the perimeter walls will start to take shape, with steel first and then the metal infill studs. So they are still making progress. We have fire sprinkler pipe showed up today.
That's what they were.
They're gonna keep installing that, doing some of that overhead work so that it will shorten the duration once we get inside. Close those walls in. And then we got the change order approved for the roof, so that's done. We're making plans on that. They came out, they've got the roof hatch access cut in now, and then they came back and cut back that loose tin on the roof. So it's back to being ready again once we get the steel up to continue moving forward. Concrete crews will show up Wednesday this week. They're trying to get them out there today, but as of right now, they're coming out on Wednesday, and that's to pour that perimeter where they had to chip out and make ready for that steel. So they'll show up Wednesday. I don't know yet when concrete will be poured, but it would be the end of this week or early next week in preparation for that steel. So all of that right now today means that the annex is tracking for a September 1st substantial completion, which is the date that y'all would accept the building and then we would begin moving things over there. So we're still within the overall time frame to satisfy the courthouse restoration, but we are tracking and continuing to move things forward over there. So any questions on annex construction progress?
Well, I know I went this Sunday with that wind blowing, some of those things were moving in there, but I guess they're okay.
They're okay right now, yes, sir.
Okay, that was just my question, because they were swinging back and forth, and I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy.
Is it the sheet metal, the ductwork?
The ductwork.
It was the ductwork that was swinging back and forth in there, yeah.
It'll be better once we get walls up, obviously, but yeah, it should be fine.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on to Randall Rather. So the plan on Randall, we have initial estimates in from the design team on the repair of that building. It's a full repair to the exterior skin currently involved for replacing the windows. And that is could be, we think, as much as $3.5 million. We've also looked at plans to not replace, to do a full restoration, which could be closer to $2.5 million. And ultimately, what we would like to do is to table any decisions or moving forward until the end of January. Because if you recall, we got the tax notes for $12.2 million. The budget for the annex was right at $11 million. We are trending below budget on the annex, potentially by up to $1.5 million. So there could be a significant amount of money, although we don't think it would bridge the entire gap to repair the Randall Rather building in its entirety. There would be a significant amount of money available to put a serious dent in it, for lack of a better word. So that's what we want to get through the next couple of months here, I guess about 2.5 months, and then come back to you with a holistic picture and say, yes, we're still trending substantially below budget over at the annex, and so this is the amount of money we feel comfortable pulling out of that. Also, talking with Commissioner Gonzales, he asked for a working session to bring the architects in and the design team and talk through kind of the full scope, like why windows? Do we really need to replace the windows? How about, and to right size that? So, as of right now, we're recommending on setting that up at your last Commissioners Court meeting in January. We should have a better picture. And if that changes, I'll be in discussion with y'all, make sure you know that.
So the question is if we start to work on the Randall Rather building, will the offices be able to be operable?
Yes. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be. I mean, we may have to temp in some of the windows if they pull them out, but.
Yeah, that was just my question. Hopefully we're not going to have to.
No, I don't foresee any reason why that would need to happen, but that'd be something we can talk through at that working session. Most of this work is on the exterior. Doesn't mean it wouldn't affect, the people whose offices are on the other side of those windows when they're messing with the windows, but I don't think they have to vacate, at least not for any length of time.
And then the $1 million question is this would actually fix the building?
It's my understanding, yeah, the $3.5 million would fix the failing stone and
The windows.
And the windows.
You know, I had a question about the windows. We replaced them when we bought them, when we bought the building. Well, that's been, what, 10 years ago? And, but we probably need to address that and see if we really need to change those windows or not. And then y'all need to tell us why, I guess, when we get right down to it and start talking to the engineers and everything.
Yes, sir. I think during the working session, that'd be a good time to have that discussion, because we'll have the experts in the room, and they can.
Yeah, because I know there's some of those windows are leaking. We know that for a fact, and I mean, I guess like you're saying is the windows, if they are fairly new, if they are in good shape, can we just reseal, reuse to possibly reseal that window to where it will last for the next, at least till we're done?
Well, probably was the caulking that they were putting around it wasn't adhering to that brick.
Yeah, I think the caulking that they used was not the right type of caulk.
That's a good point. You could reflash it maybe in a different way, and it might work fine, so.
My question is if the window itself is still
Mhm.
intact and you know, not bad. I mean, there may be some that have had some leaks that may need to be replaced, that's understandable. But if we could go in there and either reflash, reseal with the right sealer so that it will last for a duration, because I think what they used on the last one was not a long-term caulk or whatever the case may be, and that's what has caused a lot of problems, but.
At least it lasts for a year to 2 months.
He's hilarious today, right?
Yeah, well, we can definitely explore that, and I think that's worth exploring.
I think it would be too. I mean, if it's the case where we do not have to actually replace all the windows, then that could be a substantial amount of savings that we could use. Even though the window that's in there is still gonna have to be reflashed, resealed, or whatever the case may be, but yeah, I think that would be a great deal.
But I think it's a good idea to meet so we can all sit down and say, hey, this is what we're gonna do, we don't have to do, so we'll all know what's going on.
Well, we'll have the experts here to be able to ask and answer the questions, so.
So we'll work on scheduling that for y'all last commissioners court meeting in January.
That's gonna lower your time.
Sir? Yeah, I'll give you an update.
Oh, Lord. Even when you're gone, I'm gonna call you anyway.
But anyway, I think it's a good idea that you're gonna give us a weekly update. That way I think it'll make for a better working relationship with everybody.
I think so. We want y'all to be able to have the information holistically, so you're all singing from the same sheet of music when you get phone calls from the community.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you suggesting that.
I would appreciate it very much. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it.
Anything else?
Y'all good?
I'm good.
All right, we're good.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, let's move to number 13. Discuss with action approval of the final plat for the Hickston Green Acres subdivision in precinct 2.
This is a larger property that I think we originally talked, and they were hoping to do all large lots, but they have some customers that are ready to get some smaller ones. So they are gonna take the front of the property, it's about 100 acres, and split them into 6-acre tracts, 4 of them. They still hope to have bigger tracts at the back of the property. Let's see if I can.
Okay.
And so they're keeping their options open there. You know, they have what would be the entrance to something at the back. This is only gonna be 4 lots. Oops, off County Road 420. It will be wells.
Now they were gonna put, is that where the pump station's gonna be, or the water? They were gonna put a big water storage tank at the road. Is that still in the works, or is that out?
Location here.
That's, I believe so, but that's with Jimmy. I don't know what, I couldn't tell you for sure what the final plans were on that necessarily.
What's what we had talked about, they were gonna put I don't know how many thousand gallons y'all.
5,000.
5,000?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if he and Jimmy came to some agreement on that. I don't know, but he was fine with it.
Okay.
He told me it was fine to bring it to court, so.
Y'all are good with this? Okay.
And that's gonna serve all those lots, huh?
Well, that's gonna be like,
Storage?
storage for the water in case you have a fire or something there. But each one of those lots will have their own well.
Yeah,
correct?
That's what it shows on it.
They haven't
Like I say, he
changed it.
may do smaller
Go ahead,
lots at the
Steve.
back, but they may do bigger.
Sorry?
I was just giving Roy a hard time.
He needs it, he needs it.
Conserve water. Nope, more wells, huh?
How deep is water out in that area?
I don't know how deep it is out there. They'll find out when they go to drilling.
Where's that at?
Off of 420, it's right before you get, it's on, what's that? Farmer Market Road, right before you get to interstate going into Welder. 11, what's, I can't remember the number of it, but it's right there and goes into Mount Eden Community,
2814.
2814.
It goes down the road.
It's right where the church is, right there, and the cemetery's that road to the left. I think John Sample lives
I
down
was
there.
gonna say, John, I'll probably tell you the
Yes,
water
sir.
situation.
I don't have a problem with it. I guess we need to approve the final plat for the Hickston Green Acres subdivision in precinct 2. Thank you for working on it and bringing it to us.
I'll second.
Motion is second to approve the final plat for the Hickston Green Acres subdivision in precinct 2. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. 14, discuss with action approval of an exception to Gonzales County subdivision rules in precinct 3. Is that Worley and is that Pena?
I'm not sure how you.
Pena or Pena? Pena.
These are two brother-in-laws that, and their wives, obviously, that are, that own the roughly 16 acres that they're gonna split between themselves. There was some question last time a little bit about the water situation. There is a line out there. They have gotten approval for as many as 4 so far, meters on these other properties. Although they're planning on having wells if they need to.
Was there some question about this before, about this other acreage up here, the 7 acres or something, that they were cutting off of it?
Right. Well, what it was is the two son-in-laws and the father-in-law bought this entire property. They're splitting these up, and these are all over 10 acres, so we don't really have a whole lot of say on those.
Okay.
This is the one that actually, in a partition deed, was given to the 2 daughters and their husbands, the son-in-laws, that they want to split between themselves. I
Now,
think
how's that gonna work out?
That should be fine. They're still larger acreages, 7.9 acres.
I think they're gonna move out there, aren't they?
I think so. Yes, sir.
And then the other 15-acre tract,
The father-in-law is going to build a house on it.
that's the Mr. Patel?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the plan.
And they got 4 water meters supposed to serve it?
They've got at least 4 that they've been approved for already. I don't know if they've asked for more than that yet, but they are assuming they may have to do wells as well.
Is that Gonzales County water out there, you're saying?
Yes, sir. They do have, they're gonna have to share, these 2 properties share an entrance, actually 3 properties probably, because that's what TxDOT requires.
3 meters and 6 or 7 lots, huh?
Although, like I say, really, we don't have a whole lot of say on these because they are over 10 acres. It's really just the exception for that
Right.
15-acre lot that they're.
Dividing to 7.9.
I don't have a problem with it. Y'all got a problem with it? Maybe later on we might have a problem with it, but right now I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion to approve it. Let's see where we're at over here on, Worthy and Pena subdivision.
I'll second it for you.
Motion is second for the approval of the exception, Gonzales County subdivision rules there in precinct 3 for Worthy Pena. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. 15, discuss with action master service agreement between Wheelan Engineering Company Incorporated and Gonzales County Sheriff's Office for a fleet maintenance equipment. Sheriff.
Judge, Commissioners, What this product is it ties in with the light bars on our patrol units. And as y'all know, we've got a lot of Interstate 10, 183, Highway 80, high-speed roads traveling through our county. And what this product does is when the people are driving down the highway, if they're using a GPS on their phone, it'll tell them that there's an officer ahead. So it'll tell them on their phone that there's somebody up ahead of them on the highway. If there's a bad crash, it'll notify them, and it does all of that based upon them activating the lights in their car. So if they've got the red lights activated, the red and blues, it'll tell the traveling public kind of what's going on. That's just one feature. It's got a lot of features. The other feature that we're really excited about is it syncs patrol units together. So whenever we're on a crash scene, something bad happens, all of those units will sync together, so the lights will strobe in unison so that they're not all strobing, different. It sure helps with people at nighttime, helps the vision, helps them be able to see a lot better, instead of all of those lights blinking on different patterns. So it syncs all of the units together. Again, some pretty cool technology. Also, it gives us the ability to track our vehicles as they're traveling up and down the highway. So there's a lot of cool features here. It's expensive, but it is what we think is value added for us. Helps the traveling public be a little safer as they travel as well. So they kind of know if they come over a hill that there's going to be an officer up ahead of them. So, but again, it's whenever we turn the lights on. So if we're out patrolling, it doesn't tell them anything obviously, but if we're out, got a car stopped, they'll know about it. It'll come up on their phone. So pretty neat tool. Like I said, it's pretty expensive. It's $360 a year per unit, about $9,700 a year. We feel like we've got the money in the budget to handle it, but obviously it requires a contract, and so that's the reason why we asked Commissioner's Court.
Will the constables be in on that too?
They surely could, Commissioner.
But does that include them? I mean, can they be included on it?
It works, currently, it's my understanding, it works with anybody that's got wheel-in lights installed in their units. And I don't know that everybody has wheel-in lights. A lot of them do. I know DPS does, we do. I don't know if all of Johnny's do. At some point, and probably Jay probably be an expert on it, but at some point, I'd like to think that they talk from one, you know what I mean, from one brand to another is where I think they'll probably go. Is that technology out there yet?
It's not there yet. They're working on it, trying to get it to all be merged.
Where they all merge together. I mean, I think it's kind of where the future's going, but again, that's just my opinion. But
Does any of the surrounding counties have this?
I'm not.
Fayette or Lavaca or
I'm not for
Guadalupe?
sure, Commissioner. I don't know if they do or not. I know it's on the cutting edge. I mean, it's pretty new.
What about DPS?
I don't know the answer to that question. If they have wheeling bars, I don't know if they're in the contract. I'd have to check with them to find out.
Well, the other night at National Night Out in Smiley, I believe they had, weren't they synced?
They were synced, but that's just part of the non-portion of this, where they have the vehicle sync. If they have women, this is an additional thing to it. So basically what he's explaining is if you have like Google Maps or if you're using Apple Maps or Waze, if there's an emergency vehicle that has activated their lights, it tells them ahead of time there's an emergency vehicle ahead. And, or if they're coming behind you, it tells them there's an emergency vehicle approaching. So it just allows a little bit more, interaction with the drivers to allow them to know that, hey, something's going on up ahead, you might want to start slowing down.
Well, the ones that at National Night Out were syncing, and it did help. It wasn't the lights everywhere. It was,
The other thing, and I failed to mention that we think is also really pretty neat about them is, and we got to experience it the other day, but if you've got two of these units that are traveling at high rate of speed with their lights on, and if they're coming at each other, we were in a pursuit, one unit was coming off of a gravel road, another was coming down the highway, they start setting off alarms in the car saying, hey, there's another one of your units, running at speed or whatever that you're fast approaching. So you kind of know that there's another guy coming or whatever. So again, just pretty neat technology.
Does it save that information if you want to go back and run a report, or if you were doing an
We can
investigation?
track where the cars have been and all of that. Yes, sir. It does give us fleet tracking as well. Kind of one of the benefits. So again, we've got several tools in the car to tell us where those cars are, but this is another tool that we can go back and see where the cars were.
But it's 24/7 or just when the lights are on?
No, sir, 24/7. Yeah, we can see them at any time.
And does it tell you speed and things of that nature?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Sheriff, once you get it with your department, would the constables be able to add on to it, or they'll have to, another contract?
I mean, like I say, if they decide to go with Wheeling lights at some point, then we could absolutely add them. That would be a decision, I guess, you know, when they get new units or whatever. Yes.
Johnny, what y'all have Wheeling?
We don't have Wheeling now, no.
I know y'all awarded one of the new commissioners a new car, I think. I don't know if he's already did it or not, but, I mean, constable, I'm sorry, one of the new constables. And Johnny, did he get one of this budget? But what brand or what I don't know what he chose.
And all of yours are Wheeling, or
Yes, sir, that's what we've been going to.
does this communicate with fire, EMS, anybody else, or is it?
I know that they're syncing and stuff with the fire, because I know that Gonzales Fire's been buying Wheeling lately as well. I think that's kind of what Pierce likes to put on theirs, but I'm not sure about what the other guys are buying. You know, it's typically up to the department head probably and those other agencies, and I don't know what they're using, but I think that if there's benefits here and they see it, they'll probably, more of them will want to participate with it.
50,000, I guess that's yearly.
50,000. 48.6, yeah, 27 vehicles at 360 a vehicle.
I don't know what PPS is, I can check with him, find out, see if find out, see if there's any other counties that do it. I don't know.
I'd like to see us table this. Is there a deadline on this, Sheriff?
Yes, sir. We're in the demo phase right now, so
Okay.
that's where we are.
I'd like to see us table this and a little more thought and
Check
see
with other
who's
counties.
using it. Sir?
See what other counties use.
Yeah.
Can you check with the sheriff and see for Mr. Gonzales, if there's any other counties that are actually using this, that are close to us? I'll try to check with DPS and see if they're involved in it.
Sure. Appreciate that. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Was that a motion?
Yes, sir, it's a motion to table this.
All right, had a motion and a second to table 15 at this time for a little bit more information. Any further discussion?
Motion.
All in favor? All opposed? Number 16, discuss with possible action on nominating Ted Boyack as Gonzales County Representative in the county's interest category as a voting member on the Regional L Water Planning Group, South Central Texas Regional Water Planning Group. The membership term begins upon approval at the February 2026 Regional L meeting, and the counties through the 2026 through 2031 planning cycle, and also authorize the county judge to execute the nomination form and submit it by November the 27th, 2025 deadline to Region L. And this is the one that we do have 3 people that want to talk on, since I have actually read the agenda item. I have Betty Martin on number 16.
Good morning. First thing, of course, I want to thank y'all for the support y'all shown us in the water issue and everything y'all are doing to help us. And I'd just like to show my support for Ted in nominating him for this position. We all know Ted is very knowledgeable in it. He's made it his full-time job pretty much to day and night research. He attends every meeting he can everywhere in other counties and tries to keep them informed of what's happening, and I just think he would be an excellent choice at representing us. So I'm just asking y'all to consider Ted for that position. Thank you.
All right. So I have, Ted, you signed up before Mark. You want Mark to go before you?
Oh, it's, I guess, up to Mark, however you want to do it.
I just figured that.
Well, go ahead, go ahead.
Mr. Platt.
Ted has done more for the water deal, for the water grant than anybody. His dedication is just unbelievable. And we're definitely in a crisis, and I think he would be the one who would be there, maybe straighten some of the stuff out that's not working out, because we all know that running out of water ain't a good idea. Appreciate it.
All right.
Mr. Boyer?
Okay, all right, well, thanks Betty, Mark, appreciate the kind words, to the judge and the commissioners, appreciate being here again this morning. The state water planning process is complicated. The state has a number of these water planning groups, they call them regional water planning groups. This Region L, there's 16 of them that cover the entire state. Region L is one of 16 of these water planning groups. It includes 21 counties. And it has something like 30 voting members, I believe 32, and so they go through this, it's a really big deal. You go through this multi-year planning cycle, and in these planning cycles, they include all these different, they call them water management strategies. They have these water, which are basically projects, multi-million-dollar projects, where they will install a well field out in a rural area, and then they will pump that water to the cities to feed all the new subdivisions. And just as having been through this water planning, watching this go on over the years, especially more involved in it here recently, and then also involved at the county level, the groundwater district here, the Gonzales County Underground Water Conservation District, has already approved 92,000 acre-feet of Carrizo groundwater permits. Over 70,000 acre-feet of that Carrizo water has been granted to exporters. And these are entities that pump here and then export it to go feed the new subdivisions over in other locations outside the county. And so this last Region L plan, over 1,100 pages. There's a lot to it, it's a lot of work. I'm not asking for any money from the county or anything. It's really more just as a way to have somebody to serve as a voting member to help protect the county from so many other interests that want to come in. And frankly, I don't care what happens to the aquifers here that we depend on. And so somebody needs to run that interference, and I volunteer to do that work. So I would appreciate your vote to be able to go sit, be a voting member on Region L, and hopefully make sure that the state water planning process takes into account the impact on the local folks that live here and that depend on the water here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I do have some paperwork that was attached to that I haven't had a really good chance to look over it, and that's what I took over to our county attorney for him to look at it. So to do this, we have to have a nomination form to send in is what I'm presuming from what little bit I read over that, but I'm just going to give it to.
I just have one question. If the county does the nomination for you, Ted, is it an automatic placement on that commission, or is there still some kind of voting that has to happen to get on it?
Very good. Yeah. There's some kind of an approval process that happens at Region L. It wouldn't surprise me if I received some opposition from some of the members who are big exporters and pumpers out of the county. So I don't know that I'm not expecting, I am not aware of anyone that has raised objections so far, but my paperwork's not been turned in yet. So we'll see, you know, how that goes. So I don't really know exactly what to expect, you know, from all of these members. But I do know that there's some kind of an approval process for the nominations.
And does that approval process come from the existing members, or is it some other kind of voting pool?
I have yet to learn how all of those details work. But I know that the existing membership, I would imagine, is going to have a lot of influence. So even though I'm nominated, although I would expect to be able to be seated as a voting member, Gonzales County has no direct voting member. In many of these other counties, some of these counties like Bear County, I mean, you know, you go through the list and they have 8 different members in these different categories that are from Bear County. And so Gonzales County really needs a representative. So I think it's going to be very awkward for them to deny me to be seated.
I think it's gonna look bad for Region L, and the whole planning process if they don't take into account the input from the local stakeholders that are impacted by all these projects that are in the plan. So,
Makes sense.
So they got 8 of them on the board, and we don't have anybody on the board, and they're taking our water. They don't have any water, but they're sitting up there figuring out how to use it.
Making decisions.
Yes.
yeah, in my opinion, it's a stacked deck, it's not fair. It's not fair. And so, we stepped up in this last region planning process. A lot of the local folks submitted letters and concerns. I submitted a number of comments, and I spoke public comment on these different water planning meetings. And, they don't get it yet. And so that's what I hope to do is increase their awareness and let them know that you can't just keep coming back and spending more of the people's money to pump more water out of Gonzales County without really evaluating the impacts on what it's doing to this area. So that's why I'm here.
Do we want to have Eddie research this more? We're all right with moving forward with this today, Eddie.
I read what was handed to me by the judge. One thing I can say is I don't know very many people that have the working knowledge that Mr. Boyak has with regards to this issue, and after reading what was presented to me, I don't see why we should wait.
I agree with you 100%. I've heard him speak, and a lot of other people speak, and I think we're lucky to have him.
Definitely.
And I make a motion that we take out action for Ted as a Gonzales County representative in the county's interest category as a voting member on the Region L Water Planning Group, South Central Texas Regional Water Planning Group. The membership term beginning upon approval at the February 2026 Regional L meeting in counties through the 2026-2031 planning cycle. And we authorize the county judge to execute the nomination form and submit it by the November 27th, 25th deadline to Region L.
Second.
All right, had a motion in 2 or 3 seconds. From everything that Commissioner Brzezowski just stated, I don't think there's any further discussion, so all in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. And Ted, thank you for all you have put an extreme amount of time. I think you need to go to law school.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it.
But that would take out your time from the water side, so. So with that being said, since we have completed this and done it, is that nomination form, is this all here? Can y'all get that to me?
Yeah, sure, I was thinking that.
I think it is here.
Did Benny run it in?
Yes.
Yeah,
That you have it? Oh, okay.
yeah, so I just need to sign this and get it.
Yeah, you should be able to sign that, and then it goes to Region L, and then we'll see how many rocks get thrown at me.
Maybe you ought to get a vest from the sheriff.
Maybe.
That'd be good.
I have one question to ask you, I'm curious about this. San Antonio, Bear County has 8. With Gonzales County's gonna only have 1. What makes for those, is it the population makes for the voting delegates they have? Or is it just they had that many?
Well, there are these different, they call them different interest categories. One of them is counties. There's agriculture, there's environmental, there's river authorities, there's groundwater management planning areas. And so each of these different categories has so many members allocated to it. And so, like, you have several different representatives from river authorities that are on there. But you know, first you have to fit within some category, and you got to pick that category. You know, I could have picked agriculture or something else, but I felt county was the most applicable, just because Gonzales County has 0 representative. That when I looked through the list of over 30 members, but I think there's a lot of politics here, in my opinion. And these folks are the ones that are running the show. Okay, you've got San Antonio Water System, you've got GERA, you've got the groundwater management areas, who all have many members who consist of the folks that are basically the exporters and the water sellers. And so.
Kind of rigged up a little bit here.
In my opinion, it's not a fair fight. You know, and I think we saw this when we submitted our public comments in this last planning session, and they were just generally dismissed. They didn't change the plan due to all the comments that came in. So we worked very hard to have an impact, and they didn't really change the plan accordingly. So.
Well, I put the submission date on here for today's date. Make sure that we get, if you'll get with Liz and everybody, to make sure that we get this all sent in correct. I do not see a signature on here anywhere from my signature. I don't know if that.
Okay, there's all right. I can make sure I get you the form.
If you'll do that, I just do not see a place on here for my signature anywhere.
Okay, yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there. I'll take a look at the paperwork. I'll make sure I get you the form then.
All right, if you'll get that to us as soon as you get it to us, then we will get it sent off. I just
Right.
want to make sure that we do it properly and not be sent up there and then it won't be proper and then something happens.
Right.
Would you do one thing for us? When you start getting involved in this, could you kind of give us maybe a quarterly update or something so we know that you're still alive, they didn't haul you off somewhere? But would you kind of tell us what's going on, you know, what kind of ground you're making, you know, with them or something?
And if there's anything that you know of that the county may be able to assist with or be able to throw something towards, keep us in the loop because it's just so much going on.
We just don't want to throw you out there and forget about you, is what I'm saying.
All right, no, that's fine. Happy to do an update.
Thank you.
Yeah, quarterly or however you guys want to do it.
Yeah, just let us, that way we can kind of stay abreast of what's happening. We'll try to stay on it too, but you might have other intel that we can't find.
Sure.
All right, very good. All right, we'll move to 17, discuss with possible action, jail budget and overtime pay. I think this is one that we have that what we're gonna do with Sheriff. I think if at all possible, we may just go into an executive session. That way we can visit with the sheriff on that.
Okay.
So the Commissioners Court will announce that it will go into executive session if necessary pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code to receive advice and legal counsel to discuss some matters of land acquisition, litigation, and personal matters as specifically listed on the agenda. The Commissioners Court may also announce it will go into executive session if to receive action, advice from the legal counsel regarding any item on the section. Anyway, this one here is just involving some personnel, and then we just want to kind of go into executive session and talk about it. Would y'all guys like to take maybe a 5-minute break?
I think it'll work.
I think so, because I don't think I'm going to make it if I don't. All right, so we'll be back in here. We'll be in recess for 5 minutes. We'll be back here at 10 after.
No, it wasn't G-Bear Country's old Lane place.
Lane.
I'd like to know what he's got available, 200 something acres, he was saying.
Little
that-
Finger Joe did
I didn't
that.
think that.
Yeah, still in that old house.
Is this gonna be close to that?
All right.
You're gonna have to.
All right, we're gonna be in executive session now. All right, we ran just a little late on the executive session. We said we'd be back at 10 after. Well, it's about 18 after, so Gonzales County Commissioners Court will be back and we will be in executive session. So, yeah.
you talk about this? And we'll discuss.
Scaffold.
Scaffold.
She gonna put it on
I'm gonna put it on the next, she's gonna put it on the Monday one, the special call.
Oh, special call. I got you.
And it looks like it's gonna be 6,664. When we, if we go and get it and take that off.
About 2 months. Rental.
Yeah.
All right,
All right. Gonzales County Commissioners Court is back in session out of the executive session and, the discussion on the jail, budget overtime, and at this time, there will be no action taken. So, Commissioner,
Make the motion, we adjourn. Second.
motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank y'all. And don't forget to sign in blue.